The greatest show on earth is nature in action. Fighting, communicating, building, loving, caring for children, and simply hunting, eating, and dressing up are some of the basic animal behavior that we're going to see in this series. Life stories full of passion, violence, and tenderness will reveal to us many of our neighbors on the planet. Some of them little known, and all of them surprising, magnificent, no matter their size or reputation. This is the way they behave to survive. Snakes don't eat much. They have a slow metabolism because their body temperature is regulated according to the heat or cold of the environment around them. Since they don't need to burn calories to keep their body at a constant temperature, they can go without food for weeks or even months if they have to. And they never feel hungry. Their feeding instinct only wakes up when they discover a prey. That is, if they're not still digesting the previous one. This snake is using its sense of smell. It flicks out its tongue regularly at a steady pace and follows the route marked by the greatest concentration of aromatic particles in the air. It recognizes the smell as food and stalks its prey. The normal thing in snakes is to wait for the victim to approach and so catch it by surprise. But in this case, that won't work. This snake eats eggs, and eggs don't go wandering around from one place to another. You have to go look for them. The first thing is to make sure that the eggs are alive. Eating a rotten egg could be lethal. The egg's temperature is higher than that of the air, so everything is all right. Prevent the egg from rolling away. So the snake wraps its body around the egg to keep it from slipping away or breaking. This time it has found a nest with eggs that are 5 or 6 times larger than its head. But that's no problem. It can swallow even bigger eggs. Dasypanthus scabra has no teeth or very tiny vestigial teeth. Teeth would only get in the way. We don't know how, but it can distinguish between unfertilized eggs and eggs that are home to a developing embryo. And so normally, it doesn't wolf down developing eggs. It doesn't want to kill the goose that lays the golden eggs, after all. Eating an egg with an embryo would also be more complicated, since after swallowing an egg, this species crushes it against some of the vertebrae in its neck. And once the egg has been perforated and broken, the snake can squeeze it to get out all the precious nutrients that otherwise no one else could make use of. This living lesson in ecology won't touch the rest of the eggs, even though it won't have abundant food like this until the bird's next breeding season. And some people don't appreciate snakes. Culturally, we have come to associate reptiles with danger, even evil, and often that has prevented us from seeing what extraordinary beings they are. Fish have a sensory organ called the lateral line, which detects all sorts of waves in water. But their lateral lines don't sound the alarm when this strange creature moves around. It seems like something lifeless floating in the current. It doesn't seem in any way dangerous. It's very stealthy and a great hunter. Its body looks like it's made out of wood, and its skin has uneven edges and folds that give it an irregular silhouette. It looks as if it's made of algae and water plants. Nobody's afraid of what looks like a piece of wood floating in these calm waters. Its head and long neck look like a rotten old branch. Its eyes are barely noticeable, and its mouth doesn't look threatening. It doesn't have a beak, nor teeth, nor serrated edges. Its mouth is just big, huge in fact, and it works like some sort of terrifying vacuum cleaner. When the mata-mata hunts, its slowness suddenly turns into an explosion of speed. And when it opens its enormous camouflaged mouth, it does it so fast that it creates a current that sucks water into its throat. Any fish passing too close by is doomed. Its movement is fast as lightning. Other fish swimming nearby don't even detect it. They're completely unaware that one of their companions has suddenly gone missing. Unfortunately for them, fish can't count either. They'll never know what attacked them, because the mata-mata turtle is an extraordinary predator. Taking care of one's offspring is the most marvelous job around. Affection, fondness, liking, and love are words that refer to the emotions that we feel, normally for our partner and almost always for our children. The difference in the intensity of the feeling between some animals and others isn't as great as it might seem, judging by the size of the animals. The greater or lesser extent of the feelings of affection can be measured above all in the ability to project them over time, to our lives. And that is determined in large measure by the type of brain each species has. That's to say, A termite can feel a very intense sensation when it takes care of its sisters. But what a monkey feels when it protects its young, even though it may be similarly intense, is much deeper and more complex. Monkey and termite may both be ready to sacrifice their lives for their relatives, but Mama Monkey will be more aware of the consequences than Sister Termite. And that makes all the difference. The amygdala is a region of the brain that is evolutionarily much more primitive than what we might call the rational regions. That's why all animals feel emotions, although very few know that they feel them. In the history of animals, emotions emerged at almost the very beginning, and only In these cases, the parents find themselves forced to employ certain strategies. Sometimes they have to use very tough tactics that might even be considered child abuse. But they've got no other choice. A black vulture incubates its eggs for almost 2 months. But it has to take care of its chicks after hatching for 4 more long months. That's one of the longest periods of raising chicks in the bird world. That's half a year of being tied to one spot, which the adult vultures have to return to several times a day, where they can be located and which they can't run away from. It's very stressful for the parents, but the chick feels quite comfy and completely safe here. He doesn't know anything else. He doesn't know anything about life and doesn't understand that nothing bad can happen to him on this platform 20 meters above the ground. Here, somebody always winds up bringing him food, and there's nothing threatening. So it's logical for him to resist leaving the nest. His tendency to stay is a child's natural inertia. But time is up for this vulture chick. He began to flap his wings a month ago, and he measures almost 3 meters from wingtip to wingtip. He's ready physically. He just needs a little nudge to make him get over his fear and start flying. His mother hasn't brought him any food for days now. She comes back empty-handed because she wants hunger to push him out of the nest. These are moments of tension, difficult but necessary moments. She mustn't give in. It's very hard for her to do this, as accustomed as she is to taking care of him and bringing him his dinner. He has to grow up, and only he can take that step. Sometimes the wind blows hard, and this motivates him. He gains confidence. It seems like today will be the day. But no, not yet. Maybe tomorrow. Some people may think that they see similarities between the offspring of vultures and humans. And that's true. We share with most species some very specialized behavior towards our young. During childhood, we protect them, feed them, teach them, and help them in every way possible. We've discovered that caring for our children is one of the most necessary and gratifying experiences we will ever have. And without a doubt, the most human thing is to love them for life. The tranquility of nature is just a facade. Living means struggling and fighting. The popular name we have given this species is boxer shrimp, because they're very surly to each other. They can't stand to have another one near. But to keep from killing each other, they developed a brilliant trick, and so they always fight by category, according to their size. They compare how long they are, the size of their claws, to see if one of them is clearly bigger. They always look for some way to resolve the dispute without bloodshed. They touch each other with their long antennae, communicating to the other exactly what their intentions are. And if there is a fight, it's very quick. The aim is to grab the other's claws. And when one of them manages to do that, the other shrimp accepts defeat and, as the loser, voluntarily surrenders its left arm, the weaker of the two claws. The loser is left one-armed, but only temporarily. The next time it sheds its exoskeleton, in just a few weeks, it completely regenerates the lost claw. There's not much extra space in these waters either, especially in those little pools by the banks which evaporation has isolated from the main channel. The territory of a Siamese fighting fish changes in size and shape. It grows or shrinks according to the rains or the heat. That makes these fish one of the most antisocial animals on the planet. When two Siamese fighting fish end up isolated in a pool that's too small, one of them will kill the other, since there's no way to run away. There can be only one. It looks like the red one is going to win. At least, he's the biggest braggart. Male Siamese fighting fish have disproportionately large fins. Their first purpose is to make their owners visible to other Siamese fighting fish in these muddy waters. They're also useful to court the ladies whenever they find them. But above all, they are a shield. Given their length and surface area, his rival's attacks almost never reach the vital parts of the body. His fins end up in shreds, but the damage doesn't go beyond that, and the fins will heal. This technique, in which he spreads his fins out completely to reveal his wounds, placates his rival and gains him a few hours' respite. With luck, even a whole day. And fortunately in Thailand, it rains frequently. During their lives, animals spend tons of time taking care of their personal appearance. Because the great crested grebe's diet consists entirely of fish. Eating fish implies a serious sanitary problem. How do you get rid of the mucus that covers their scales? Because you can't wash that stuff off with water alone. Herons also eat fish, and they too get themselves dirty with the fish's secretions, just like the grebes. But these birds have developed a special cleansing agent specifically designed for fish slime.